Just as the sun and moon would be surrounded by the constellations of Aries and Libra in perfect balance, Beatrice's sight became balanced and fixed on the Father. Turned to Dante and told him that she would answer the question that he had conceived. The universe was made so that the Father could magnificently affirm his glory, and not because he lacked something. Out of his love was the universe, the light of his love that transcended time and space. Well, Father's creation manifested without an interval or gradual beginning. As there was his love that created the universe, the angelic host, the natural universe or world, and all that were perfect. There were two rules which governed the earth the Father had created: pure act and pure potential. The highest level, pure act, was the realm of angels, while the lowest level was focused on pure potentiality. Or what was left was the potential to act, which is a moderate stance between the two polarized positions. St. Jerome spoke about how the heavenly host predated creation. This makes it impossible for angelic beings to have been this could easily be verified by scripture and logic. Instead, they have a form of free will. It was this free will that caused the archangel of the Sephirim to grow prideful. This jealousy and free will also resulted in a third of the wicked falling from heaven. Those that remained loyal to the Father were blessed with intelligence and vision within their humility and love of the Father. This showed them that their worth in His grace, the fact that they were willing and ready to receive the grace permitted them to have a correlated worth. Beatrice suggested that if he had been attentive to her, he could now understand more than this place and did not have to rely on her. However, she would explain further so that she could ambiguity, anything that was ambiguous that he may have due to how the human mind works. The angelic beings were so focused on the Father that they never became distracted. While humanity was concerned with philosophies and lost their sight of eternal truth, angelic beings grieved for the humans that would dare subvert the holy word. Such humans fabricated baseless truths for the sake of creating beneficial views to evangelize or minister. These false ministers often had, according to Beatrice, lied about the nature of the darkness of Good Friday. They showed that the moon retreated and blocked sunlight, when in reality, according to Beatrice, the sun itself didn't. Be aware of what actually happened according to logic and the etymology of Scripture. The spiritual manifestation occurred. False sermons, like the one mentioned, could be heard everywhere in Europe, being prevalent in Florence. The clergy lacked being able to give the spiritual nourishment that the laity deserved. Though they did not possess accurate theological knowledge, the laity were at fault for accepting these sermons. Christ commissioned His church with His foundational truth, which they were to build upon. The clergy were never to teach foolishness, but be but to prepare the flock for spiritual warfare. Whereas the clergy in the early church were humble, the modern clergy of Dante's lifetime have become arrogantly prideful and humorous. Since can a cleric make their congregation laugh or remain stoic during the duration of Mass? While the priests use humor at times, it should not ever take away from the gravity of his homily. Too many clergymen get away from the seriousness of ministry when they use too much humor or try to make everyone smile. Some of the century push the heresy of prosperity gospel, or have an overly calming and an overly humorous style to their preaching which taints its impact. Others will never preach with conviction but preach a feel-good message. Yet still others compromise in favor of appealing to younger generations in their music styles or building funds and numbers. As is the case in the 21st century divided Western church, so was the case in the 13th and 14th century unified Western church. And in fact, these churches said that in the cow, the bird, that if the common people were to see it, they would perceive what pardons they could find in 10 to 29, 118 through 120. The cruelty of the clerics on selling pardons and backing up the same pig which St. Anthony the Great had to deal with. This pig was the demonic spirit of sensuality, essentially by selling pardons, or you could call them endurance, or the clergy, or increasing spiritual prostitution or sensuality. These have then digressed and returned her attention to the task at hand. During the time remaining, Dante stated that the nature of angels transcended human logic. In the book of Daniel, the prophetic sage stated a specific number of angelic beings, only saying that he saw thousands. Each cherub, throne, dominion, virtue, power, principality, archangel, and angel is unique, even though they all get their authority from the same source. Hosts of heaven, whether they are verdant or tepid, reflect the Father's goodness back to